Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. As today, honestly, we're mostly just tooling around, tying up loose ends in the Coronis Expanse as we prepare for a certain death cult assassin to make her debut. So yeah, let's just get right to it. Get these last few planets scanned, clear the last few sectors, then start making our way back towards Dargonis. Oh, here we go. 7 Promethium. Yeah, we'll take that. We are light on extractiums, but we've got 10 more in the queue. We're not exactly hurting on Promethium, but it is one of the more commonly required trade goods. Bizarre Ruins. The bizarre structure observed from orbit appears to be the ruined estate of a wealthy noble. Further searching reveals the remains of an envirodome, a landing pad, the main manor, and servants' quarters. It is impossible to determine what exactly happened here. The search team has found something truly disturbing in the main hall, an opulently clothed skeleton sitting at the dinner table. The table is set with gold plates covered with old blood and piles of bones. The bones on the plates are clearly human. No other remains have been found on the estate. I mean, yeah, that's grim, but also not necessarily supernatural. It could just be something as mundane as a noble getting cut off from whatever network he relied on for supplies, only to turn to cannibalism for the sake of short-term survival. Yeah, we'll poke around a bit. The scout team returns with some expensive weapons taken from the skeleton. After finishing their report, they hurry away, whispering prayers. Right, yeah, that certainly tracks. The one guy with a weapon is the one who forced the others to serve as a short-term food supply. Just desperation. Unidentified void ship. A Vox notification from the Augur crew drowns out the usual noise on the bridge. An Imperial vessel, the Dark Piercer, and its escort ships are headed your way. Your archives make no mention of either the ship or its owner. As you consider your course of action, the ship's captain contacts you first. Introducing himself as the Pilgrim, the captain greets the rogue trader courteously and offers to purchase any information you might have on crystal phlogiston deposits. Interesting. So, just information, not actual phlogiston? Why do you call yourself the Pilgrim? Not to cast aspersions, but when people use fake names, it does tend to rouse suspicion. The captain admits he has not always done the right thing in his life, but he once beheld the blessing of the Emperor himself, and has followed a special path of service to him ever since. That is the path he now treads, as the Pilgrim. Sure. And why exactly does the Pilgrim require information on phlogiston? The captain's coarse laughter echoes forth from the box. Phlogiston is a part and parcel of many different aspects of life in the Imperium. How exactly his customers are going to use it is none of his concern. All that the Pilgrim promises is that the phlogiston will be used for the good of humanity. Pascal becomes visibly animated at the mention of phlogiston. Though indifferent to the prospect of a deal with the shadowy individual, the Magos nonetheless recommends you find out more about phlogiston deposits. Your own protectorate would benefit from the knowledge. So wait, he does actually want phlogiston? I'm unclear. What exactly do I get out of this trade? Can you give me details? The Pilgrim has been exploring the Coronis Expanse for years, and knows many of its secrets. He promises to let you in on intriguing rumors that may be of interest to someone with your skills and capabilities. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't really... Wait, is this the same check but easier now, or is this a separate check from the one we just saw? They're not... Normally, they detail specifics in the tooltips. It looks like the captain of the Dark Piercer is unsurprised by your reaction. He's willing to pay in gold and securities for any information on Phlogiston. Okay, so information, not actual Phlogiston. And then also we have our other check back, it looks like, but now it's harder. But now also our only option, because we can no longer accept the previously proposed deals. Sure, why not? The captain of the Dark Piercer is in the best of spirits. In gratitude for your invaluable help, he sends you a small box containing ancient maps and documents. They appear to speak of a certain imperial world lost many centuries ago. Also, +2 profit factor. Lovely. Then, in a somewhat conspiratorial tone, the pilgrim relates a story about a standoff between 2 Xenos fleets, which he was told by an acquaintance. The person in question, sadly enough, died at the hands of the Inquisition before they were able to pass on the coordinates for the crash site of one of the Xenos ships. However, the pilgrim knows for a fact that the vessel met its demise on an ocean world. Okay, so 2 new rumors and 2 profit factor. Ah, yes, and that did cost us 2 phlogiston. We went from 16 to 14. You know what? I'll call that a good trade. Weird they obfuscated the details, but it all turned out just fine in the end. Trivial plasteel deposit, we'll pass on that. Which means we're pretty much done in Adermat 2. On we go. Right. So we've got Porta Septentum just spaced north of us. And do we have new rumor zones? Nothing that's immediately jumping out at me. Though we do obviously still have this cluster up on the space north. But that gets more involved in the whole Dark Elf plotline. I'm not sure I want to get caught up in that with the new DLC right around the corner. Oh, shoot, but that is where... Right, that is where Last Call of Cyrene is. That's where, Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and finish clearing Porta Septentum first, then we'll worry about the rest of this stuff. Project just finished. And no new routes. Okay, so we seem to have dead-ended here, just off space west of Dark Elf territory. The motive force is life, complete. +2 efficiency, +1 profit factor. And this crazy nonsense that we'll never use. That opens up a slot for a new project, which, yes, we can now do giants. So we'll immediately get that one going. Centuries ago, liturgies of assembly and first ignition were held on Kiaba Gamma for majestic steel monstrosities. All-crushing mountain tunnelers, mighty cargo haulers, and voracious mega-harvesters. This virtuous craft is lost now, but Adeptus Mechanicus artisans can revive it. Then, once again, triumphant calls of klaxons will shake the Coronis expanse. Which costs us a fairly trivial amount of resources, and rewards us with a whopping 10 mobile extractiums, as well as +1 profit factor, and a new contract, Tools of Righteousness. Not to mention, of course, it'll also unlock our final project on Janus as well. And then next we'll probably do Compassion for the Silent, I think. Yeah, I definitely want to get that one banked. I feel like that's very much in Valen's wheelhouse. And then, yes, we've got these two still in the queue. It'll be a while before we have enough Drusi and Rep to get the first one going, but the Reaping, not too far out now. Which certainly sounds ever so slightly ominous. Oh, and speaking of ominous, we've got Enemies of Humanity and an Eldar Warp Gate. Let's start with a dash of Daring Do. Oh, you know what? That actually reminds me. We still have that one other fight we couldn't beat before. The Chaos Fleet, just south of Dargonis. I'll have to add that to our to-do list. Oh. And immediately drawing fire. That's no good. Looks like 4 destroyers and a light cruiser. Sword Force shields pierced. Cruiser on approach. Looks like it's farther out though, so... Yes, okay. Alright. We're not in a great spot. Our shields are already a little thinner than I'd like. But let's see if we can turn this around. We'll try to wipe the 2 in front of us and delay the 2 behind us. Yeah. Cruiser's far enough out that we don't have to worry about it just yet. We'll angle hard right, go full bore on these 2. Decoy salvo deployed. Destroyer 1 out. Destroyer 2 dinged. I think we can actually hit it with both banks of mag guns. Oh, well. Never mind. Turns out we just needed the 1. Fair enough. Shields to rear. Should be in pretty good shape here. We'll use the ultimates if we have to, but I'm really hoping we don't. I'd prefer to save that for the other fight, the one we struggled with the first time around. Though, I mean, at this point it might not be necessary there either. We are significantly more powerful now than we were then. Sword 4, you want to maybe help me out with this? Sure would be nice to have some support. Half salvo out. Minor ding, but we did drop their front shields. We'll try to capitalize. Yeah, we'll bank hard left. Strafe Destroyer 3, then Lance into Destroyer 4. Actually, you know what? Let's just focus down 3 first. Hey, there we go. Deploy salvo. And shields to front. Yeah, Destroyer 3 was still at full, so I was worried just strafing them wouldn't be enough. This is fine, though. I think we're good. Especially with Sword 4 finally coming around. Nice, nice. Perfect. Torpedoes into the cruiser. We'll use Argenta's power to direct hit. Nice. Finish off Destroyer 4. And everything else into the cruiser. Ah, that was left, not front. Hey, there we go.
I have missed this feeling.
Modest XP. Modest Void Heretic cargo. And Galleon Ceramite Void Ship plating. Which actually looks to be a step down from our current Assault Ceramite. Which is fine. I mean, that's just more cargo. 1/5 of a ship component stack. We'll take it. Let's finish these planet scans, then we'll get warped. Ocean world clear. Trivial plasteel, ignore. That is something else I actually have to do. Swing by footfall to turn in our latest planet scans. And mining world clear. Which just leaves the gate. Let's make our approach. Lord Ketton, we are passing by a construct marked on the star charts as a dimensional gate. Our augurs are not showing any suspicious energy readings. The device is dormant, thank the Emperor. What is this thing? What exactly am I looking at? Some kind of artificial moon? An ancient Xeno artifact, older than humanity itself. Judging by its design, this is a gate leading somewhere. Possibly straight into the wicked abyss of the warp, considering all the nasty shit that used to roam around here. Many captains, Her Ladyship Theodora included, have tried to reveal its secrets, but it seems that no one could figure out how it works. Good for them, if you ask me. Wait, Theodora was interested. Why? Her Ladyship didn't exactly share her plans with us, always kept them close to her chest. But I'll go out on a limb and say she was searching for a way to open the gate. and see what's on the other side.
The Cognizance Fleet conducted its own analysis of the Xeno artifact. All records of the expeditions to the site were added to the exploration catalog.
Right, thanks, Pascal. You mentioned it was nasty out here. What do you mean by that? I don't want to repeat the rumors, and I don't know the truth, but it was bad. There was word of ships and even whole trade convoys disappearing. Captains started avoiding the system, until eventually the Lord Inquisitor came here and made short work of it. Hasn't been much in the way of rumors ever since, actually. The Inquisition made sure Voidsmen kept their mouths shut. Whatever this gate used to spew out, it must have been profane and a danger to humanity. Right. So nothing to say about all that, Heinrichs? Okay, report received. We live to serve, Lord Captain. Take us in closer. I'd like to get a better look at this thing. Lord Captain, I would advise against approaching the gate. The Inquisition has declared the entire area around it off limits, and packed it with mines. Our augurs won't be able to detect them. Oh, well, I mean, you could have maybe led with that, but thanks, Ravor. Okay then, I guess we'll go do something else. Consider it done. Great. Thanks, bud. So is that Eldari? The crescent moon shape actually makes me think Zench before Eldari. Alright, well, we're pretty much done with this corner of the galaxy. We've just got this one chunk over here, which is tied to the Drukhari stuff. I'm not sure we want to kick that off just yet. And then we've got 100 Dreams Crossroads, which is where our remaining fight is. But then also we have this new unforeseen event on an ice world. That might actually be the ice world the Pilgrim was talking about. Okay, let's hit the pause button real quick. I'm going to need to manually check all these sectors. And we're back. Yes, we are definitely headed for 100 Dreams Crossroads. We've got a fight there we need to finish. And then also that unforeseen circumstance. And then after that, I guess we'll head back towards Mundus Valancius and then maybe knock out Pellium Solitas if we have time. Though I don't think we'll head for Cinerus Maleficum just yet. I would like to collect that cash, but with the new DLC looming, I'm not sure we really want to get bogged down with all that just yet. We'll just stay focused on the crossroads for now. The officers on one of the lower decks stopped providing status reports. 3 days had passed since the Vox system broadcasted anything other than subdued moans and wet slapping sounds. An enforcer squad sent to investigate reported that the denizens of the lower levels had regressed to animals and succumbed to depravity. The connection with the squad was shortly lost. The High Missionary of the Adeptus Ministorum became flush with fury and condemned these as designs of the archenemy. The hotbed of heresy was cleansed with fire and prayer. Well, that is certainly a thing that happened. I guess that just goes to show that you shouldn't peel back the covers on some beds lest they be too hot. I'm not really sure what lessons should be gleaned from this. So instead, we will just move on. The ship's augurs registered an emission of unknown radiation in one of the chambers. As a result, some of the Voidsmen now have glowing irises, which has proven to be quite beneficial in the performance of their duties. The vessel's confessors are in doubt, and suggest it may be an outward sign of corruption. I mean, honestly, I think it's pretty awesome, but I suppose we've seen enough that we shouldn't just take it for granted. You know what, we'll check in with the Emperor, see what his take on all this might be. What fate awaits our newly enlightened pupils? Lashes, perhaps? The crew's fervent prayers were answered. Those bearing the most luminous irises dropped dead upon hearing the hymn to the God Emperor, while the rest were struck with a severe sickness, which did not abate until the vessel left the Sea of Souls. Oh, well, I mean, that's not quite what I was going for. Also, we burned holy gifts on that? Come on, you didn't say that was... I mean, if I'd known that, I wouldn't have... That was 500 potential rep we could have had with the Drusians. Kind of a waste, but... Alright, fine. Project complete. And they might be giants. Now we can get our Janus project going, but first let's go ahead and get Compassion for the Silent going. And then probably mag trains after. I'm not seeing any downsides on that one either. Oh, wow. Plus 6 people. Yeah, we could definitely use that. And plus 20 hull. This one's not exclusive, right? Yeah, okay. Flawless Servitors and the Vigil of the Tech Guards are mutually exclusive from each other, but Compassion for the Silent is its own separate standalone. So yes, we'll lead with Compassion, then mag trains, then we'll worry about the other two. A hospice for servitors will provide care for out-of-order automatons, to the utter bewilderment of the Adeptus Mechanicus. And meanwhile, on Janus, the reaping begins. Not even the sprawling agri-complexes of Janus can cover the whole of the planet's fertile expanse. Gargantuan tracked mega-harvesters will come to their aid. They will wander the planet for months, each one operated by its assigned clan of serfs, who are born, live, and die in the bowels of these great machines. These giants will reap harvests with their toothed jaws, break open the soil with their plasteel plows, and drink the swampy lowlands dry with their thirsty hydro pumps, spewing the water forth down upon the arid hills. Which grants +1 profit and +5 provisions. For a fairly trivial cost. Yeah, I mean, really, we're just establishing, like, mobile settlements. That sounds fine to me. So, yeah, we'll do it. And that'll be it for Janus for Act 2. That just leaves the one project on Foulstone, and then a small handful on Kiava Gamma. Tools of Righteousness. Intent on bringing the world of iniquity to imperial compliance, Incendia Corda is facing a prolonged campaign to weed out the planet's blasphemous elements. She will pay a generous price for the formidable steel giants of Kiava Gamma, vested in holy armor and armed with the Emperor's righteous fury. Which apparently translates to all our weapons for 3 mobile extractiums. You know what? I think we are going to politely decline that request. Also, just like narratively speaking, it sounds like they kind of interpreted things backwards there. The steel giants on Kiava Gamma are the extractiums we just built. I feel like something may have gotten lost in translation there. Anyway, on to 100 Dreams Crossroads. A trickle of disturbing news came from the Navigator's sanctum over the last few days. Allegedly, there is a vast shadow following the Void ship through the depths of the Sea of Souls. Mere hours before emerging in real space, the vessel shuddered. An unidentified Leviathan had emerged from the roiling warp, wrapping its tentacles around the ship, and started squeezing, trying to crack the hull like an egg. Yeah, that sucks. But I'm sure it's nothing Cassia can't handle. That is what she trained for. The ship's navigator engaged the warp monster in invisible combat by giving orders from the Sanctum Navis. By following the Astronomicon's guiding light and struggling against the mighty alien will at the same time, the guide managed to pry the void vessel from the nightmarish creature's grasp and execute an emergency translation to real space, with minimal losses among the crew and new insights into the nature of warp entities. +2 insight. Yeah, I'd say that turned out about as well as we could have possibly hoped. Also, a very appropriate encounter considering we're right on top of that, like, weird void space whale on the map. Compassion for the Silent, complete. +1 profit. A double stack of Iconoclast points, and +6 people. Very nice. Which now clears a path for our crazy idea about locomotives. Yeah, we'll do that one first. I have to study this whole cluster before we commit to any of them. A planet's manufactorums are only as efficient as its logistical system. Lex mechanics predict a major growth in the world's overall manufacturing output if haulers and airships make way for powerful mag trains, speeding along a web of long-distance railways. Alright, let's go tie up some loose ends. Actually, let's lead by checking this out. That is an ice world, that is a new event. Wait. We've already... Yeah, we've already got an Extractium here. Oh, also we should top off, since we are looking to head into a fight that killed the rogue trader of a parallel reality. According to the ancient chronicles and maps handed to you by the Pilgrim, this icy planet used to be a prosperous imperial colony. However, a sharp change in its trajectory, brought upon by the warp anomaly raging in the system, caused the world to distance itself from the local star. In less than a decade, the planet's surface was completely encased in ice, sealing a wealth of machines and artifacts of the Imperium inside a glacial tomb. Oh shoot, wait, do we need advanced augurs for this? Magus Hanuman made a logical statement. Unverified information received from a nameless individual. It's likely to prove false. However, the factual evidence pointing at the authenticity of the ancient documents allows one to assume the rogue trader's augurs are not powerful enough to perform a more thorough scanning of the frozen world. Oh wait, but it also says that we do have augmented augur components. It looks like the Pilgrim's records were true. Your augurs managed to locate the shapes of several Imperial buildings under layers of snow and ice, though one can only guess what purpose they used to serve. When did we... Develop a plan for changing the planet's climate without support from the Imperium. Okay, sure. After deliberating, the senior officers unanimously decided that only the Adeptus Mechanicus possessed the technologies required for a project of such a massive scale. The rogue trader should contact their representatives in the Coronis Expanse and secure future cooperation. Right, okay, sure. I'm not sure that triggered the way it's supposed to. Huh. Okay, so do we have to go to Footfall for that, or... I mean, we're headed there anyway. We have to... Oh, shoot, I guess I have to do this, too. I was just kind of ignoring that. And we can't do that. I threw the second shard into a reactor. Weird that it's even still on our list. Oh, right. Okay, there we go. Melting the ice. The rogue trader has turned to the sublime minds of the Magi Explorators. May they employ the blessed machines of the Adeptus Mechanicus to melt the centuries-old layer of ice, encasing a lost and forgotten Imperial world. What would be an unbearable burden for a commoner is just another task for a servant of the Omnissiah. The Explorators offer prayers to the machine spirits as they prepare for this unorthodox planetary-scale mission, which has a very reasonable cost, so yeah, I mean, we'll definitely do that. Ooh, even got an achievement. Lovely. So, in theory, we now have immediate access to the planet's surface? Your crew is treated to an amazing sight. The Armory world, which spent decades under layers of tightly packed ice, blooms before them like a carpet of black flowers, revealing hundreds of Imperium supply bases amidst the melting snow broth. They are practically untouched by time. Pillage the world using scouts and assault troops, or report the world to the representatives of the Adeptus Administratum, or just leave. I mean, I suppose a responsible citizen of the Imperium would report it, but it is in our territory, and we did go through considerable expense to thaw the planet out. I mean, I feel like by virtue of our position, it's entirely within our right to claim this world. Which, I'll be honest, I kind of expected would give us more than this, but sure. Quick-firing las pistol. I mean, the Emerald Ring isn't bad. +5 Fellowship, +1 Resolve. Though it really comes down to what we currently have equipped on Cassia. Oh, right, no. No, we'll probably keep those, but I will think on it. And a weapon extraction point. Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense based on the context of the world we just uncovered. Huh. You know what? That actually does make it more worth it. Just the meager prizes we got initially felt fairly underwhelming, but an actual resource node does make it feel more substantial. Anyway, I'm not sure any of that played out the way it was supposed to, but I'll take it. I'll just roll with it. It's fine. And let's just make sure we're in tip-top shape here. Yeah. We're about as good as we're gonna get. Once more into the breach, my friends. Oh, also 3 stacks of Mechanicus creations? For some reason? I'll take them. You are facing Chaos Worshippers. It seems their ships have been lying in wait here. The Voxmaster reports an incoming transmission, which we will promptly ignore. Oh, you know what? The Mechanicus creations might be delayed rewards from that thawed-out planet we just restored. Alright, so as I recall, we have one big ship. Yes, the murder-class cruiser that lit us ablaze. And then also a couple of turncoat raiders. Let's do some damage. We'll go full tilt this time out. Use Argenta's triple salvo ability. So all hands on deck, and then that should let us... Oh, yes, there we go. Very nice. 3 salvos deployed. Let's plant a couple of shots into the murder-class cruiser. Then we'll hook right. Oh, wow. Okay, well, the triple salvo may have been overkill. I guess we are significantly stronger now than we were last time we went up against these guys. Fair enough. But, you know, better safe than sorry. Shields to port. Your move, Raiders. Sword 4, springing into action. Light boop on the Raider's snoot. Ooh, okay. Okay. Right. You know what? Maybe it was an overkill. Torpedoes out. Raider 1 near death. Murder class cruiser at a quarter. And chaos fighters out. Now we commit a murder. Cruiser out. Sword 4 has Raider 1. No way he doesn't drop them. So we will stay focused on Raider 2. Oh, wait. Look at that. Our torpedoes. We can actually drop 3 salvos again. Once again, I am not sure that is working the way it's supposed to, but I will absolutely take advantage of it. Though at this point, I would say it's probably overkill. Though really, I suppose it comes down to just how strong that DOT is. We've currently got 3 stacks of pyro fire on our hull. And I am fairly certain that is what killed us last time around. Raider 1,
Another
out.
victory for the von Valancius dynasty.
Yeah, you say that, Abby, but I notice we're still fighting. And also still on fire. Please tell me we're done. Explode. Which did nothing, sure. Hey, there we go. Okay. Slightly awkward on the way things played out there, but I suppose no real harm done. Which nets us a Jovian Pattern Class 2 drive. Slightly faster, but lower handling than our current engine. Hey, we'll take it. Whether or not we use it, it's still cargo. And then I think we've already cleared the ocean world. Yeah. Which means 100 Dreams Crossroads now officially complete. Oof. We really need to get that ship ability that reduces repair costs. So yeah, pretty much done with exploration, aside from the cluster up north. At least for Act 2, minus whatever else opens up, going into Act 3 and onward. And then we do have this over here. I noted it earlier. This jungle world with another unforeseen event. That must be the other rumor the Pilgrim just gave us. I wasn't sure that's what the unforeseen events were, but it definitely was in 100 Dreams Crossroads. But then we also potentially have the advanced augers now, which might also be useful for some of these other events. But regardless, a lot of resources, some new toys to play with, and yet more items off of our to-do list. We'll hit the pause button for now. I'll plan out our next move, and we'll pick up here next time. See you then. Oh, and special thanks to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible, including but not limited to Eerie B23, Revenant, Alois, Dragon Matrix 7, Drakiith, EgonAlter, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, James Trimmier, Kazorm, Mark Giemza, Nathan Welch Jr., OverlordPherom, RandomPassrby, RobbyB, Tomasz Piątkowski, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, if you'd also like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things. Trust me, it does make a difference. Or you could even check out the PayPal, the Patreon, the Nexus GG, or the YouTube memberships. Links are in the description.
Another victory for the von Valancius dynasty.